play sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks, next on Madden NFL 25.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the rookie from the University of Washington.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Short pass tip, but caught anyway. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Hey, during the course of any game, you'll see tip passes. But how often do we actually see the running back come up and end up making the play?
Well, shifty fella getting in there and grabbing it.
Yeah, you know, they always talk about how running backs have a nose for the end zone. They have a nose for the ball, too. They want it in their hands at all times.
That's complete to Mooney. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Now, you've been around me a long time now. You know on second and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot, but we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely first down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here on third. Here's Penix. That's complete to the tight end, Werner. And he is going to have the Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Now Penix. And that is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again is Penix. Into the hands of London. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Robinson will try to pick it up. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And looking to throw, Penix. Touchdown, Falcons! Darnell Mooney from 6 yards away. And the Falcons get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off a back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now Geno. This is Fant on the short completion. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he's got this down to the 35. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They're going right back to Walker. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what you're looking for, the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Fighting through at the 25. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 40 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early. No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Smith and Jigba in motion right. Out of the gun, Smith. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, this from 37. Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And looking to throw, Penix. Man open, that's Ray McLeod. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. In motion, the tight end. They'll throw with Penix. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
2nd and 10. On the counter, this is Robinson. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. To the air, Penix. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of the times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Darnell Mooney with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Falcons are able to extend their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Koo now for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
57 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He'll buy some time right. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll try the air now with Smith. Complete to Smith and Jigba. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And Walker once more. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. And they'll come up 2nd and 7 as they've got it as we resume action. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
To throw is Smith. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and a give to Robinson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Penix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The Falcons on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Back to Walker on 1st down. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. They run again with Walker. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a 1st down at the Falcons' 32. 110 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
The last run went so well for them, maybe they should have just handed it off right here too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on him and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, here's Smith. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Operating from the gun, Penix. And he'll find McLeod on the right side, complete. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Penix working out of the gun here. That is caught. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Oh, what a move. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Penix. That's complete to Mooney. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 5. They'll go play action here with Penix. His throw incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now Penix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Falcons are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
And looking to throw, Penix. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now back to throw. Steps away. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Michael Penix. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons add 6 to their lead. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it, because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
Coup for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. A 10-play drive that time, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And able to get this out to the 25. The Seahawks offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
This offense so far on third down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Walker with another carry. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 135 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Straight ahead, Walker. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Smith. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went ahead and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Right back to him on 1st down. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On the handoff, this is Walker. And good work there in open space, and he's got this all the way down now to the 32. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now, and this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the give, here's Charbonnet. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Running left is Walker. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. That 2nd down play nets a -4. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Seahawks have got it back to within a score. Well, CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play, and of course he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 21-17. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense and Michael Penix set to take over once more. And he's had things all his way in this 1st half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
2nd and 5. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And out across midfield down to the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Looking to throw, Penix. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Crossing route incomplete. He's got Pitts. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To the air, Penix. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll throw with Penix. And it's caught. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Fourth down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. And his kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Now Smith. Dancing to his left. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Out of the gun, Smith. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Geno now to throw. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. This is Fant on the short completion. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Falcons offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. 7 yards there and a first down. Robinson on a give right side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Give Uchenna Nwosu the credit for the stuff.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Robinson with another carry. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. Back to throw here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Down to the 41.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll drop to throw. That's caught by Werner, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Throwing again, Penix. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Koo knocks this one through the posts, and that will extend their lead even further. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Off of play action, here's Smith. And Walker has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a first and 10 now down inside the 20. Now it's Smith. This complete to Lockett. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So not quite a first and goal just yet as they come up now second and inches. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal.
Well, partner, I haven't seen a vote for most popular player on the team. But this guy's got to get a lot of votes. He does not care, does he? Totally unselfish, physical runner, doesn't worry about yardage, just keeps moving the chains, being a team player.
Here's Walker. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Throwing now is Geno. Staying on his feet. Incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Smith. He's got it. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. Again, it's Robinson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that is incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Arnold Ebiketie able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Back to throw, Smith. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Matthew Judon in there to take him down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Here's Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. On third down, Robinson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the fourth quarter still to come. We're in the third. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tapping his quarterback on the shoulder. I'll take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. From the gun, here's Smith. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Arnold Ebiketie able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the give, it's Walker. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And looking to throw, Penix. And his throw here's incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Penix. Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Being chased out left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a 1st down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Penix. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Uchenna Nwosu picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. He completes this to Walker. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Play action. It's Smith. Repeated the last play, finding Walker. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. Well, and a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the 1st down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Geno. Forced out to his left. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 7. They'll throw with Penix. Over the middle, caught by London. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Robinson up the middle. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
To the air, Penix. Finding room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Second and 4. Got an open man. It's McLeod. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. He's got the hook up to McLeod. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to the ground with Robinson. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
This a 2nd and 8. Back to throw here. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Off play action. Here's Penix. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Ernest Jones, the linebacker, with a sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. In motion goes McLeod. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown. Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Koo knocks this one through the posts, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll try for the first with Walker. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Geno now to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football. If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Smith's going to throw it. This is Fant on the short completion. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Smith. Smith and Jigba with a grab. And out of bounds right around the 20. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they...
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is. Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Smith to throw. Going right back to Fant. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Here's a 2nd and 7. Smith. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Smith now to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Here now, 2nd and goal. Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that will make this a 4-point game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down by 4, 40 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. They come up now on 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw. Pass complete to Robinson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Back to throw. That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Here we go. 1st and goal. He's back to throw. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Boy, this crowd is on pins and needles now because anytime you see the ball heading for the end zone, you really hold your breath and they come out of their seats. That one falls incomplete.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Penix. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And the Seahawks are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. But Charles, a heartbreaking way to lose this game. They got into position for that final play, had a decent look toward the end zone, but ultimately picked off, and that's your ball game.
Yeah, they gave themselves a great opportunity, didn't they? They'll replay that snap over and over, but sometimes you just have to give credit to the other side. Defense stood up in the final moment and came through with the interception.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.